Hey everyone, Reggie Williams here to discuss the Massachusetts estate tax with Kurt Wise, one of our senior policy analysts. So, Kurt, there's been some talk about changing the way the Massachusetts estate tax works. We'll get to that. But first, what is the estate tax?
Hey, Reggie. So the estate tax is a tax on large accumulations of wealth that are left behind when someone dies. And that includes things like bank accounts, maybe a house, investments, other forms of what's known as personal wealth. If the estate is worth over $1 million, then the tax comes out of the estate before it's passed on to the next generation.
Okay, great. So, what can you tell us about the current proposals to change the estate tax?
The governor's proposed making the estate tax apply only to estates with a taxable value of 2 million or more instead of $1 million. And he wants to make some other changes to the tax that would really cut back on how much money it would bring in. The governor's proposal would cost the Commonwealth over $200 million a year in lost revenue. And the bigger the estate, the bigger the benefit they would get under the governor's proposal.
Wow. Do you think, what do you think about that? Does that make sense?
No, not really. The estate tax currently affects only the state's wealthiest households. Few estates are large enough to be subject to the estate tax, even when you take into account the rising value of real estate in Massachusetts. And it's really the very largest estates in the Commonwealth that pay the lion's share of estate taxes. So, giving a large tax break to the various wealthiest people in Massachusetts in an era of extreme and rising inequality, I don't think that should be a top straight priority.
I agree. Are there other proposals on the table?
Yes, one of these would keep the current $1 million threshold, but would create a tax credit to reduce the amount of tax owed by estates that are valued at just a little over $1 million. Basically, this tax credit would eliminate what people call the estate tax cliff and would cost the Commonwealth about $2 million a year in lost revenue. So that's one live proposal, but there are other options that are possible too.
Well, Kurt, thanks for that update. We'd love to have you back to talk more about these other proposals. And for our viewers, make sure that you check out, follow, and subscribe for more information at Mass Budget.